Hello all, welcome to the playlist on ARM architecture. In the lecture 2, we will study about the principal features of ARM architecture. So before going into this, let's have a quick recap of the lecture 1. So as already told, the first ARM processor was developed by Acorn Computers Limited and it was called as Acorn RISC machine until 1990s. After that it was named as Advanced RISC machine and it was based purely on RISC architecture, and the point to be remembered is ARM only sells licenses for its core architecture design and it is optimized for low power and performance. So let's understand the features of ARM. So first point, it is similar to RISC architecture, but it is not purely a RISC. As already known, ARM processor is a combination of RISC ideas and also few CISC features. So this is done in order to achieve high code density, low power consumption and for a smaller footprint. So ARM is definitely it is in RISC architecture but not completely a pure RISC. Next, load and store architecture. So the implementation of load and store architecture, it is possible having large uniform register file. So it is nothing but having a large number of registers. So implementing the load and store architecture, what does it mean? It means that all the data processing operations are only between the registers and they doesn't involve any memory operation. Or I can also say that the data in memory can be accessed only by load and store instructions. ARM supports load and store of multiple data elements through a single instruction. So not only a single byte, the load and store instructions of ARM processor supports multiple data bytes. Next, ARM is a 32-bit processor, but it can also be operated in 16-bit and also in 8-bit modes. So the 16-bit mode is known as thumb mode, and the 8-bit mode is known as Jazelle mode. Now for example, if you take ARM 7TDMI, if you take the ARM 7 core, the T stands for thumb. So mentioning that ARM 7 core supports thumb mode. So thumb instruction set is nothing but a 16-bit compressed form of the original 32-bit ARM instruction set. And at the instruction pipeline, they implement a decompression hardware. So by going with the thumb mode, the code density will be, whatever the code density achieved will be better than the whatever we achieve by most of the CISC processors. And when we go with this Jazelle mode is for implementing the or executing the Java codes. So if you can take the example of ARM V5TEG. ARM V5TEG. Here the J stands for Jazelle. So mentioning that ARM v5 core supports direct Java bytecode execution, and it is to accelerate the performance of and also conserve the power. Next, conditional execution. Now this is a very important feature of the ARM processor. The instructions get executed only when a condition is met. Instructions are executed only when a given condition, when only the given condition is met. So this can be understood with an example. So for example, if I have to write a program, if R0 is not equal to 5, then R1 perform the addition R2 plus R0. So if I have to write a program for this, what is this? If R0 is not equal to 5, I have to add the contents of R2 to the contents of R0 and place the result in the R1 register. So how do I write the code for this? Compare R0 comma #5. So what does this instruction do? The contents of R0 register will be compared with the immediate data available in instruction, nothing but the immediate data 5. And we have to perform this addition operation if it is not equal to, then add not equal to. So this is a condition here. I am incorporating the condition in the opcode itself. Add not equal to. So what is the destination? R1, and where are the source operands? R2, R0. So if the contents of R0 are not equal to 5, then this instruction will be executed. The contents of R2 will be added with the contents of R0 and the result will be placed in R1 register. So this is what is a conditional execution, and this feature is going to maximize the execution throughput. Next, inline barrel shifter. So ARM has barrel shifter in the data path, which can maximize the hardware usage. So first let us know what is a barrel shifter. Barrel shifter is a digital circuit which can shift a data word. It is used for shifting the data word by n bits. So you know, like in combinational logic circuits, what happens? If I have a number like this 0 1 0 1, and if I have to shift it 1 bit, so 0 1 0 1, so I need 1 clock cycle, 1 clock cycle. So here what happens is that in order to shift the operand even to the left or to the right by 1 bit, I need 1 clock cycle, 1 clock cycle for 1 shift operation. But the barrel shifter can shift the operand n bits in only 1 clock cycle. So barrel shifter gives the ability to perform a general shift operation in a single clock cycle. You can do it any number of times, n bits. N times you can shift it only in 1 clock cycle. This is an important feature of your ARM architecture. Next, it has auto increment and auto decrement addressing modes. So having auto increment and auto decrement modes, what happens is that it optimizes the program loops. It optimizes program loops, especially when we have to go with a block transfer. When we go with the block transfer. Block transfer in sense, for example, 10 memory locations data has to be moved to some other locations. Then we say it as a group of locations, nothing but a block transfer. Then this auto increment or auto decrement mode will be auto increment or auto decrement addressing modes are going to help us. Next, ARM has got a very good speed versus power consumption ratio. So as already told you, having the 80% of RISC and CISC features, it has a very good speed versus power consumption ratio and also high code density. And all these features, the good speed, low power consumption and high code density, all these features are very much essential in embedded system applications. Next, it has 3 address instruction format. So what is a 3 address instruction format? We'll have an opcode, then destination, operand, source 1, source 2. So we'll try to understand with an example. Example, add R3, R2, R1, for example. So this is your destination, source 1, source 2. So my source 1 is R2, the contents of R2 register plus the contents of R1 register, and the result will be stored in R3 register. And all are 32-bit, means 0 to 31. 0 to 31. 0 to 31 32-bit registers. And similarly I can take another example, multiplication, R4, R3, R2. So the destination is R4, the content of R3 is multiplied with the content of R2. So here all are your 32-bit registers, 0 to 31. So this is what is your 3 address instruction format. And next is your fixed length 32-bit instruction. So having a uniform length instruction, the first thing is it reduces the complexity on control unit. So control unit is a very important block in the architecture. So it reduces the complexity on control unit. So having a simple control unit always results in faster execution. So faster execution, in other words, we can say it as the speed of the processor is enhanced. So revising the main features of ARM architecture. So first, it is similar to RISC architecture but not purely a RISC. Load and store architecture is implemented. It is a 32-bit processor and also 64, and it can be operated in 16-bit as well as 8-bit mode, nothing but thumb and jazzel mode. Conditional execution, it has an inline barrel shifter. It has auto increment, auto decrement addressing modes. It has a very good speed versus power consumption ratio. It implements 3 address instruction format and has fixed length 32-bit instruction. So these are the important features of the ARM architecture. And next session would be on architecture of ARM processor. Thank you.